Hey there. Ever pictured yourself at a mixing board? But instead of sound, you're controlling light. And not just like on and off, you're actually orchestrating this whole visual experience.
Yeah, that's a really good way to put it.
That's the world of an intelligent lighting engineer.
Mhm.
And honestly, it's a lot more complex than it might seem at first glance.
Oh, for sure. It's amazing how much technical know-how and artistry come together in this field.
Absolutely. So if you're thinking about this career path, you're in the right place. We're taking a deep dive into RoleCatcher's guide on this, and let me tell you, they had some eye-opening stuff in there. Like, did you know that some of these engineers have to be ready to, like, completely troubleshoot a lighting rig just hours before a huge concert, sometimes even pulling all-nighters?
Wow.
Not exactly the glamorous life, right?
No, not always. And it really shows how much more goes into this job than just knowing your way around a light board. We're talking about people who understand how to program and automate these entire lighting systems, often using things like DMX protocol.
In mixed protocols, okay, that sounds pretty technical. What are those exactly?
So basically, it's like a language that lighting consoles use to communicate with the lights themselves.
Were the interests?
And an intelligent lighting engineer, they need to be fluent in that language
Wow.
to tell each individual light what to do, when to do it, and how bright it should be. It's kind of like if you think of them as the conductors of this light show, the DMX protocol is how they talk to their orchestra of lights.
Okay, I'm starting to get it. So it's not just about hitting the right button at the right time. It's about knowing the whole language behind it.
Exactly. And here's the thing. It's always changing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, new lighting technologies are coming out all the time, so these engineers have to constantly stay updated. New software, new systems, you name it. You've got things like the Granime 2 console, for example,
Okay.
which is like the gold standard right now in live event lighting.
So you really do have to be a lifelong learner in this kind of career,
Absolutely.
which makes sense because you're clearly someone who loves soaking up knowledge.
I do.
But it also sounds pretty demanding, to say the least. Is that where these crazy hours that everyone talks about come in?
Absolutely. Live events, they don't exactly follow a 9 to 5 schedule, do they?
Right, of course not.
So an intelligent lighting engineer often has to be okay with, late nights, early mornings, and basically just working whenever the show needs it.
Makes sense.
And it's not just the hours either. Remember, we're talking heavy equipment, hot lights, often a pretty loud environment.
Yeah, the guide actually mentions it can get as loud as a rock concert,
Right.
which I guess makes sense, considering that's often where they are.
Yeah.
And it's a team effort, right? Like, you can't exactly be a lone wolf in this kind of career.
You got it. Collaboration is key. You're working with everyone, the road crew, the sound engineers, the performers themselves, even the venue staff. It takes a village to pull off a successful event, that's for sure.
Yeah, no kidding. It sounds like it takes a lot of hard work, dedication, maybe even a little bit of a, I don't know, a rock and roll spirit to handle those late nights.
It definitely does. It's not a career for everyone, that's for sure. But the cool thing is, the RoleCatcher guide, it also highlights how all of that, the hard work, the demands, it actually translates to some really amazing benefits, especially for those who really thrive in this kind of fast-paced environment.
Oh, okay. Now you're talking my language. What kind of benefit?
Yes.
Give me the good stuff.
All right. All right. Well, remember earlier when we were talking about that skills gap?
Yeah, the demand for skilled, intelligent lighting engineers being really high.
Exactly. And because the demand is so high, that often
Or
means
highly sought after, which usually translates to,
good pay. Yeah. And not even just that, there's a lot of room to grow in your career.
well,
So as you start to gain more experience, become more of an expert in different things, you can move up to those, more senior roles, leading teams, working on bigger productions, more complex stuff.
so instead of like assisting on someone else's tour, someday you could be designing the lighting for, like, Coachella.
Exactly. Something like that, yeah. And here's the thing, we've been talking about the technical side a lot.
Right.
Let's not forget about the creative part of it.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
We were talking before about those all-nighters, troubleshooting equipment. But imagine this.
Okay.
You're the one designing those incredible visual displays, the ones that make the audience go, whoa.
Oh.
You're using light to tell a story, to set the mood, to create an entire experience for thousands of people. That's got to be an amazing feeling.
I bet. It's like you're a magician or something, but instead of smoke and mirrors, it's, well, lights.
Right. And it takes a special kind of person who can blend that technical side with that artistic side. Which, speaking of the artistic side, you might be wondering,
Do you have to, like, go to art school to do this?
That's a great question, and it's not strictly necessary to answer your question,
Okay.
but it can be helpful. But the RoleCatcher guide, it emphasizes that practical experience is really key.
So like internships.
Internships, entry-level positions, anything where you can really learn on the job, that's going to be huge.
Get your hands dirty, so to speak.
Exactly. And having a solid portfolio of your work is crucial.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So that could be from school projects, if you did go to art school, personal stuff you've worked on, previous jobs, whatever you've got.
So it's really about being able to show off your skills and your eye for design,
Yeah.
regardless of where you learned it.
Exactly. It's about showing, not just telling.
Right, of course.
And speaking of learning, remember those professional associations we mentioned earlier, like ILD?
Yeah. Those seem like they'd be really helpful for someone just getting started in this field.
Totally. Networking, it's like everything in this industry. And those groups, they give you a way to meet other professionals, learn about jobs, and just stay up to date on all the latest stuff happening.
So it's not just what you know, it's also who you know.
It's both. You got to have both.
And that's actually something I really appreciate about this RoleCatcher guide, now that you mention it.
What's that?
It makes it clear that, a career like this, it's about more than just being good with the technical stuff.
Right.
It's about getting out there, building relationships, showing that you're truly passionate about this world.
Totally, yeah. Passion goes a long way.
Okay, so let's say you've got the passion, you're learning the technical side of things, you're out there networking like crazy. What's the actual process like for, landing a job as an intelligent lighting engineer? Where do you even begin to look?
Well, that's where I think RoleCatcher really shines,
Oh, really?
Yeah. They've got these, AI-powered tools that we talked about earlier.
Right.
Those can be a game changer when you're on the job hunt, seriously.
Okay, now you've got my attention. How can those actually help you land a job?
So picture this. You're applying for a job, right?
Right.
And you can tailor your resume and your cover letter to perfectly match what they're looking for.
Oh, I see where you're going with this.
RoleCatcher's AI, it can actually analyze those job descriptions and highlight the important stuff, the keywords, the skills that the employers really want to see.
So it's not just about having the experience, it's about making sure it's front and center.
Exactly. It's like, you wouldn't wear a tuxedo to a casual party, right?
Right.
You got to dress for the occasion. And speaking of, making a good impression, what about those interviews?
Yeah, those can be scary.
Those can be nerve-wracking, absolutely.
Yeah.
But get this, RoleCatcher also has, get this, AI-generated interview questions.
No way.
Yeah. And they're tailored to different jobs in the industry, including, you guessed it, intelligent lighting engineer.
Wow, so it's like you got a cheat sheet almost.
It's like having a sneak peek into the interviewer's brain.
Right. No more going in totally blind, feeling unprepared.
Exactly. You can practice your answers, get comfortable talking about your skills and experience. Like we talked about DMX protocols, right?
Yeah.
You might get asked about that in an interview. So you can be ready.
That's amazing. So it's not just about giving you information.
Yeah.
It's about giving you the tools to actually go out there and make it happen.
Totally. It's about taking action. And for a career like this one, where your passion and how well you've prepared, that's what matters. Having that extra edge that RoleCatcher can give you, it can make a huge difference.
No kidding. So, okay, say someone's listening to us right now and they're thinking, this is it. Intelligent lighting design, that's my dream.
Yeah.
What's the first thing they should do?
Honestly, just dive in. Read that RoleCatcher guide, front to back. Try out those AI tools we were talking about.
Yeah.
And just start picturing yourself as part of this whole world. It's a really exciting field. It's always changing. There's so much to learn. It's cool.
It's funny. We've talked about all the technical stuff, the protocols, the long nights, the equipment.
Right.
But when it comes down to it, what really makes this whole thing sing is the creativity.
100%. Being able to use light to tell stories, create emotions, it's powerful stuff.
No kidding. And who knows, maybe someday someone listening to this will be designing the lights for our next live show.
That would be amazing.
That's a wrap on another illuminating deep dive, everyone. We've gone behind the scenes of the world of intelligent lighting engineers. We've seen the hard work, the dedication, and the artistry that makes this career so special. Remember, the path to a fulfilling career. It's all about knowledge, a little curiosity, and being ready to embrace the unexpected. Keep those creative sparks flying, and we'll catch you on the next episode.